and ready. So anyway, I'll be getting along the way. So good. I guess we're live. Should we say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever world, wherever you are. So this is our little podcast. What we do every Sunday afternoon, at least my time. I am broadcasting live here in Indianapolis, the Hoosier state of Indiana, in the Midwest, sometimes called the corn belt of America. Oh, which is a lie, which is a lie. Anyway, back to Lufia. Come on there.
Yes,
Let's do your fufuzelas. You're already late. Let's go.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, Chanda Tulufia calling or broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking time and you know viewing this particular podcast and out of your busy schedule just to be with us. We thank you very much. Of course, we talk about a lot of trending topics that's been happening throughout the week. There's so many that we can tackle. So feel free to join in, ladies and gentlemen. Like the page, follow the page, and as well as if you want to put a comment and feature on the podcast, you can do that. And also just follow the link. There'll be a link that's available. You can just click on it, and you can participate and get out your views on all these stories that have been happening so far. So good. Yeah, thank you very much, Lachlan.
Yes, Lufia. As he stated, people. Yeah, join us. Let's have a conversation, shall we? Let's speak on. Oh my goodness. Don't we have a show today? And haven't we have a week in Zambia, Lufia? I'm pulling my hair now because oh my goodness. I mean, there's no easy way to start this conversation this afternoon, but just getting into the psychic, the mind of a fugitive, Bachelorfia.
Mm,
And
mm,
there's no other a famous fugitive from Zambia this week. I mean, I know there are several out there, but a member of parliament running away from custody,
mm, mm,
legal custody. And I mean, this really, is it really sick? What is it that we are missing as Zambians? Um, I mean, there are all kinds of scenarios playing out there, right, Lufia? And I can't understand it.
mhm,
JJ Emmanuel Banda, the member of parliament for Petauke, who is on the run right now, um, you know, um, for he was arrested for aggravated robbery and attempted murder. So that charge, murder or aggravated robbery, they have no bail. You can't get bail until your case is sorted out.
mm, mm.
But before even the case gets started, he bails out. And we have the Zambia police. I know I listened to a press conference by my favorite, my favorite, who happens to be my member of parliament as well,
Mhm.
the Home Affairs Minister, Mr. Jack Dihunya Mwimbu. I listened to that conference and I'm like, oh my goodness. Right, Lucia,
Mm.
take over because I'm
Yeah,
still in
I
shock.
I also listened to it. I listened to it, and he was really honest to the fact that, of course, the police service is a little bit compromised in the fact that the previous regime hired unprofessional people, and some people, when he said that, or when the IG said that the police is full of some police officers are junkies. This is what he meant. Of course, we have reputable and professional police men out there, men and women, but we do have some bad eggs So that wasn't a good look for the fact that the guy was being guarded by two police officers and three correctional facility officers. So how in the world would somebody just escape? And looking at how Chipata is a small town. Okay, Chipata is a small town. It's not a big city whereby Montunga escape. You just lose it. And secondly, my question was, how long did it take for that mukashana ulio in the number? Kashinga number three wives, kashinga number one, kashinga number two. Apparently, yeah, JJ Banda three wives.
Yeah, two of them sisters. That's
Yes.
another angle that
Oh,
people don't
really?
want to talk about.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I didn't know about that. That
Yes.
even makes it wait. So, how long did she wait to come and tell the police officers that my husband has escaped? We need to look at the timeline between the time that she told the police and what did the police do immediately. Did they just sit and wait, or they constituted a manhunt right there and then? Because in the developed world, Montugavat after escape, it's an immediate action. You don't have to wait for orders from Lusaka. Okay, you don't have to wait for all those big people who came to Lusaka and start giving you instructions. Like, no, now you can mount a manhunt.
Hmm.
You have to do it immediately because you have to say,
Right.
okay, Abutuka, okay. If it was 10 minutes after they were told, what did they do? Did they call their fellow police officers to say, "Muntu Abutuka, can we mount?" You even know, like the roads are pretty well known in Chipata. Kusha, muntu ngafuma pano, alayo kwaso. Okay, they could have easily give chase, and they could have easily told other officers to mount roadblocks
Hmm.
in all the borders everywhere. In my exit points, you even know that Muntunga alefuma muno, in case alefuma mu Chipata, first thing people look at is Malawi. From there, then people can just disappear all of a sudden with all these private jets and all that stuff. But
Hmm.
I was actually surprised that they didn't catch him. I was like, what? A small town like Chipata? Muntu Abutuka.
Hmm.
Did the police just fold their arms and say, oh, no, Abutuka, okay, there's nothing we can do?
Hmm.
So that's the concern that is there. And that's why five of them have been arrested because they showed very, they were showing like they were compromised in a way. Nobody Yakoka something, who knows? Nobody knows.
Granny
Nobody
Yapo
Yakoka something.
Basela, of course. I mean, that's a
Mm,
fact. That's a fact. And I mean, so this story has so many layers, and so far, the whichever wife was with him is in police custody, I guess, for questioning. And then we have all the police, the two officers there, the policeman, and I guess the prison officers from the prison corrections also. They are also being questioned. I mean, it's been how long? Over a week now? Still no movement?
mm,
I mean, JJ Banda can't just disappear into thin air, people, without, I mean, I know there's a video that's going out that has been in contact with family members, letting them know he's fine. Uh, but it still begs the
mm,
question: what is he running from? You are
mhm,
supposed to be an honorable member of parliament. And also, didn't he think about the three wives that he's got? And I mean, I can just imagine by now. I mean, maybe he has, between the three of them, he may have 14 kids or 20, who knows?
mm,
Didn't think about his own blood. How are they going
mm,
to survive? you
mm,
know uh, and uh, and I know somebody was out there during the week saying, well, he's a dishonorable member of parliament. He shouldn't even have been in parliament to begin with. You cannot have a thug. He's a criminal. I mean, he's a criminal. I mean, there's no way about it. He's a criminal. because you cannot have somebody calling, oh, you're calling him a member of parliament who is going about his business, urinating into people's mouths, beating up policemen, and you call that a member of parliament? Zambians, where have we gone wrong? When did we accept people with such kind of characters to be our leader, or to be our leader, so to speak? This is just, I mean, I don't even know how to, I mean, I don't even know what to say about Ethiopia.
Well, being a member of parliament is supposed to be honorable, and if you display yourself or show that level of which the likes of JJ Banda have been showing or displaying to the public. One, before he actually was a member of parliament, if you recall very well, let's take back a step.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman, he's the one that was leading the youth, patriotic front youth in Chipata. He had the guts. He did a lot of things, And if you remember, the PF cadres were the ones that were so protected. They had the say. They
Mm-hmm.
would slap police officers left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
He had the audacity to actually go into a police station with his gang and beat up police officers. Something that has never been heard before or done before in the
Mm-hmm.
history. I've never heard anybody to gear himself up and go and beat up police officers. I've never ever heard that before. Not until one so-called JJ Banda did it with his fellow cadres. So that was sort of like a slap on the police face. And to be honest, where did that case go? It went nowhere. He wasn't arrested. He might have been charged, but the case died in thin air. Nobody knows what happened to that because I can assure you that's a very very serious offense. Quick atam of it, kapokola pakuboko or whatever on the uniform. That's a serious offense.
Look who is here.
Then
Look who is here, Lufia. Look who is
oh,
here. Ah! Oh, the man who was supporting JJ Banda last week. He was live. He screamed from the top of his lungs. Our president, PS. I was waiting for you all week long. He's not even saying anything, right? Unmute yourself, Bakasia. I have been waiting anxiously
Okay.
all week long.
Yeah.
What do
It
you
was,
have to say
I,
about
I,
that thug,
I
JJ
have
Banda?
I have told you that even a thug needs to be treated properly in terms of the justice system. You don't abuse the justice system just because you are in power and you don't like what he did. Justice must be seen and be served in a proper way, not in a way where when people question, you don't answer. Instead, you think like he's a criminal who doesn't deserve justice. He needs to be justice. Justice needs to be served. If you have learned that no, he was not punished, nothing happened, went into thin air, that is not right. That is not correct. The punishment might not have been adequate, but it was maintained. And that is one of the referral points that we must do to reform our justice system. So that if a person misbehaves like JJ did, the right penalty is given at that point in time. Not someone to go in history and get archives to come and start charging him, and then it doesn't work for me. It doesn't. So I think I have been telling you that JJ has not been treated very well, and I still maintain that position because justice must be seen to be served properly across everybody. We have seen people that have wanted to circumcise President Edgar Lungu. They are not there. They've called bring him to Northwestern Province. They've insulted him to the core. Nothing has happened. Why me has done the same thing? He's in Karomo. I don't know where he is now. Arrested. The other person called Ichibo Kolo is free. So justice must not be seen not to be maintained equitably. It must be done equitably. It doesn't matter if it is me or any other person. We must be seen that okay, this is the way we deal with crime. So just JJ has not been treated properly.
I can't see. I can't believe you are coming on this platform to sing about the justice system or JJ Banda has. Oh, come on, Bakazia. You disappoint me. What do you mean? What do you mean? Because our laws are very clear. Our laws, it doesn't matter how long the crime was committed. I mean, it's not like here where there are statutes of limit. In Zambia, we don't have that. So if somebody reports me for stealing a chicken at Lugwalo police station or Shikatende in Shibuyunji for stealing a chicken 20 years ago, today I should face the law. It doesn't matter how
I,
long
I, I
because
don't have a problem.
we have no limits. In Zambia. Come on now,
Wakalinda,
Baxter.
Wakalinda, I
I'm
agree with you.
listening.
I definitely agree with you that if nothing is done on a case, yes, we can come and say we don't have a statute of limitation. But when something has been done, has it been interrogated? Why was it that he was not jailed at the time? Why was he fined only? Who decided that he should be fined? Who obstructed that justice system? Who we must also hold accountable? Is it a judge? Is it a police officer? Who was an accomplice to make sure that the right justice was not maintained on JJ? It's not just about JJ alone. Mamona. So in F1 our justice, you're subjected to some justice system. Now, some people might have compromised the justice system. What have we done to them? Are they free that they can also still be obstructing the same justice system? So, in my opinion, I've told you to say I do not agree with what JJ did. I do not agree. But certainly, I don't agree with leaving on those that were a part of the justice system that will let JJ go free. What have we done to them? The ones who should have sent him to prison and they chose to give him a 10,000 kwacha fine. What have we done to them? They are still there in the justice system obstructing justice, isn't it? So we cannot just look at
That's a
JJ
good
alone.
question. That's a good question.
Abali abe nabamwebera tilipira 10 pini nga wachuma omuntu wamusundira mukanwa. Where are they? What have we done to them? We have not even mentioned their names. We don't even know who actually presided on that matter, isn't it? Have we?
I mean,
So
how do you know? How do you know that they haven't been arrested and
I have
faced
not.
the law?
That's why I'm saying, where are they? I want to hear them that they've been arrested. Before I talk just
Hold that
yeah,
thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought, Bachir. Let's bring in a new entrant here. Her name is Cleopatra Chimunya. Welcome to our podcast, Madame, and tell us where you're joining us from. And we're talking about the JJ Banda's case right now. Please
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you have no comment, any thoughts on his case?
Mm, not for now.
Okay, great. Okay, so back to Lufia. Let's come back to you. Mr. Kazia is on a tandem about JJ Banda's whoever paid him. Why wasn't the arresting officers taken care of? Why are we only focusing on JJ Banda? That's Mr. Kazia's line of thoughts this morning. Your thoughts, right, Lufia?
Um, you know, Marcus just brought up something interesting. It's an interesting angle, interesting thought. Uh, yeah, what has been done, I have no information whether something was done by those officers that were arrested or somebody who presided over that matter. Of course, we're in agreement that JJ Banda, of course, was protected by the state at that time because of he was under the PF regime protection
Mm-hmm.
umbrella, if you like. a lot of wrong things were done, and people were working, under instructions, and so do we blame them because they were, working under instructions? Because if you look at the history, if somebody goes against any PF member or
Mm-hmm.
any
Mm-hmm.
PF,
Right.
they'll either be dismissed or fired. So
Mm-hmm.
people were scared to lose their jobs. They've got families. So
Right.
in that situation, they might have made decisions that were not legally right, but they had to make those decisions because they were scared to lose their job. Now that the that regime is gone and we have this regime that we have now
Uh-huh.
currently, so we have to look at things in a way. And the president said himself, he said, "Look, I will give the law enforcement agencies the autonomy,
Uh-huh.
to work free and independently. Okay, I will not budge it. I'll not come in. I'll not do anything. Do your job." And that's what they're doing. So right now, and one funny thing is, we're seeing the man himself is supposed to be honorable, according to the word. But why in the world did he run away if he's innocent? It's one thing to be guilty, one thing to be innocent, but if you want to come out, the way it was coming out, it was like saying that he's been unfairly, persecuted. But why didn't he just wait until the things go through the courts of law, all the normal channels are done? Then if truly, because we have an independent judiciary system, there's no way if somebody's innocent, and there's no way if they stayed prosecuting,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have evidence, they're going to convict you. So he should have just waited. And this is a guy who actually has enjoyed, the treatment of the police, whereby he could do whatever he wants, he could fake his sickness, he can do this, ABCD. Every time he says he's sick, they take him where? They take him to a hospital. Okay. In normal cases, sometimes you would go to visit a relative UTH. You find if somebody is sick, a prisoner, you find him chained to bed, number 10. Now I'm looking at
You
because
can just
JJ
ignore
Banda
them.
had.
The it's
Hello? Is
Mm-hmm.
anybody
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Somebody's talking. Okay.
All right,
So
yeah.
they would chain him. They would chain a prisoner if the prisoner is sick at hospital. Kumu chaining at bed, But JJ Banda never went through all those things. And it was funny to hear the opposition saying out loud or crying out loud to say he's being treated unfairly. When in the fact that he was actually treated fairly, even
But,
more than fairly, for the position
just
that
a
he had.
point of correction here.
All
JJ
right.
is not a criminal. He is a suspect. He's
He's
not
a
been convicted.
criminal. Hold that thought. Hold
He's
that
not
thought.
convicted. He's a suspect according to the law right now.
He
He's a
is
suspect.
he is a criminal. Okay,
No,
hold that thought.
Kalinda. Unless you want to
Hold
change
that.
the definition,
Oh,
he's
hold
not a
that thought.
prisoner. He is
Hold
a
that
suspect.
thought.
It's a
Hold that thought.
potential
Let's bring it.
potential criminal.
Yeah.
Potential criminal.
All right,
Potential
hold
criminal
that
is a
thought,
suspect.
hold that thought, gentlemen. One person at a time. Yes, I knew this was going to happen. But, let's bring in new entrants. Let's start with Mr. Joseph Kishimba. Please tell us where you're joining us from, and the discussion right now it's the JJ Banda's disappearing act. So you can contribute from Mr. Chimba.
Hi,
Let's go to Mr. My lovely Losy husband, Mr. Dr. Liswaniso, and then Mr. Himwami, in that order, please. Go ahead, Mr. Chimba. Mr. Chimba, you can unmute. Go ahead.
hello. I said I'm listening in from Lusaka, Zambia.
Great. Thank you for joining us. Do you have any thoughts towards Mr. I don't even want to call him an honorable. He's a fag. JJ Banda's disappearance.
No, not at the moment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us. My lovely doctor husband enjoying sunny Puerto Rico. Dr. Liswaniso?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm in Puerto Rico here, the warm weather of Puerto Rico. Um, I'm sorry I've come late in the meeting, but which topic are we discussing right now? Is it
Of
JJ? I'm
course.
interested in JJ
That's what we are talking about. We just
because everyone in Zambia right now is really up and running, trying to catch this criminal because
Cartoon million.
the money is too nice to to let go. So, but the only thing I can say is that first of all, his political career is finished, and he's no longer gonna be a politician if he comes wherever he surfaces. I think now he's labeled as a criminal pretender. He pretends and all that type of thing. So for him, is just like Ambwiri now. That's the end of his political career, and I can assure, I can assure you that, yeah. So when he resurfaces, whenever he's gonna resurface, it's just gonna be a nobody, and I think that's what he deserves to be. That's it.
right. Mr. Himwani.
Good evening, everyone. I'm joining in from England in a town called Stratford, a tourist town called Stratford, where Shakespeare was born. We are happy here. There is no this violence against immigrants. At least it's a safe place. I can confirm I'm safe.
Oh, nice to hear.
Nice to
Yes.
hear. I was worried
Nice
about
to-
you.
So
No,
is
no,
it
I'm
it's only specific towns that it's happening, like, or
where
it's
there is
yeah.
mostly towns that are close to maybe Manchester. Yeah, there are things like Leeds. There are things like that. But also, basically, it's because of the that Rwandese boy who killed those three, and the way he's been handled has not made the people to be happy here. He will only be taken for trial next year, but the three people are dead and buried. So we have different ways of defining justice. Vachandagazia. Justice starts from the day you are incarcerated or the day you're not incarcerated. And I want to say this about JJ. Umuntu ngafwa ali mu kifungo. Do they still put chains? Why do they put chains, Pamanda? Someone is dead and is a prisoner, but we hear they put chains, Pamanda, until such a day when that sentence is over. You know why I'm kufunyama chains. May that be confirmed, please. And then it should be related to JJ, who we said was supposed to be in the hospital, changed. Is a suspect, he's supposed to be changed, but a prisoner, even when he's dead, is no longer useful. But he's still the graveyard that potuma chain Pamanda. But under because ya njeben ko ine nali shishita mwalishwa fefuna shishita.
Mamache fete kwa vifuliranda.
Okay. Takwava.
Fete kwa vifyu. Mamacha, the person is a suspect until he has gone. Yeah, that's why bamutwalira kuchikuna ku chine cha milandu is to look at it convicted according to what the government has done now. But that was my earlier question to the team. Number one, why didn't we get the JJ? I repeated in the our justice system where he was fined. Now the question that I'm having is that if that was not properly done, it means that what meant justice is a compromised person. What have we done to this compromised person who has made our justice system go back again? Why are we going back on a matter which was decided? Was it that the sentence inadequate or things like that?
Maybe the question is, what offense was he convicted on last time?
Last time.
Was it aggravated robbery?
No. It's a
No,
Nani
criminal
no,
valusa
offense.
ku aggravated
No.
robbery nombo mlandu wavuka.
so nga mwataka ati mwamuvika pali aggravated robbery now. He is innocent of aggravated robbery until convicted by the court. Am I right?
But he must be not
Uh-uh.
bonded. Yes,
First of
you are
all,
very
he's
right.
innocent.
You are very right, but he has
Yes,
not bond.
yes.
Not
That's the
bondable.
process. Yes, he has not gone because that is what we have agreed as a country that Mutungava accused of aggravated murder or aggravated chani, he will not be eligible for bond, but he will still be
Yes.
innocent.
Yeah, but he
Eh,
still has to be in jail. I mean,
That
first of all,
so
Bakazi,
you can't be jailed before you are convicted.
I mean, he was in protective custody, whatever you call it,
he has to be under the
until
he
his
has to
case
be
is finalized, right?
he has to be under the eyes of the ego.
Yes, until his
Yeah.
case is finalized.
Yes.
Either he's found guilty or not, then they let him go, or he goes to jail.
So
Step by step.
whatever way JJ has been looked at for now, with the offense that he was given or that was slapped on him, is appropriate according to the law. No law has been skipped to have JJ being watched day and night, though they slept when he went to the hospital. Apopena, he was not supposed to be given chance.
And
I
then
have
we
a, I have a question.
Bakasia, before you come in, let us remember that there is a victim here. This case didn't just come from nowhere. There is a victim here. Let's not forget about that Zambian who was urinated upon, forced to swallow his urine, and beaten up by this thug you call JJ. Let's not forget about that victim.
There's a
And
complainant.
the pain that he lived through from when this happened. Let's not forget about that. He's a Zambian just like me and you. He needs his grievances heard in the courts of law. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
just it. The trauma. That's the trauma he went through. I mean,
granted, JJ
yeah.
is a member of parliament, which to me shouldn't have been in the first place. You cannot have a thug going about beating policemen in police station, thinking he's the be all and end all. We cannot have such a person making laws for our people in our parliament. Let's not forget about that. Now, don't get me getting emotional over here. But take over because I feel I feel for that victim. Huh?
Yeah.
I feel for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He couldn't. I
It's
mean,
very true.
he tried. He couldn't. But
Yeah.
now, yes, we have a change of government. So
Mhm.
we thought he needed to be head. He tried again,
Yeah.
and they arrested
Yeah.
him. Let's
Yeah.
not forget about that.
That's what I
That's the
was
most
saying.
important.
Before Watirufia comes in, I need to just put a few things right. And this is not my making, but these are things that the UPND stood for. One of it is the rule of law. One of it is that also a pango land. It doesn't matter na kumamsangile arecho komuntu na knife pamukoshi. You will subject that person to the process of the law. The first presumption of our constitution is that the person is innocent until he's proven what guilty. Now, imwape for Murelanda, Wakalinda, you are assuming that JJ is guilty before he is convicted by the court for these new offenses that the court people have said to spend on him. Why can't we?
No. Maybe can we put this right?
And
Can
that's
we put
why you find that the courts do not allow us to discuss these matters when they're in
maybe can we put this right?
because they don't
Can
want
we
us to
put this
create
right?
a sensation out of the court when other facts may be coming out. So,
Can we,
for me and the team that is here, let's wait for the justice system to go through it. But people of the
maybe
right in the human rights organization, they will talk about it. That unique criminal, but he deserves to be treated in a human way as a criminal. He's a
Yeah.
suspected
But
criminal.
when was he not treated like a human?
Yeah,
When was
he
he
was
treated like
actually
a human?
treated like a VIP.
But
Huh?
the question that
Let's
I'm
just put it
having is that
out there.
is JJ guilty or innocent right now?
No. Here's what we're saying. What we're discussing is this. we're discussing what's already in public domain.
No,
But
but
in the
yeah, even what
public,
is in public domain, is he a
Moneni.
criminal or is not a criminal? Answer my question.
Okay,
Okay, I'll
everybody,
speak for
Can I?
myself.
Lekeni njesuke kabino banala sashani
Okay,
mulilanda.
okay, go ahead, Chicken.
Every Zambian or every human is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Okay, but the facts on the ground are this: JJ Banda, it's in public domain. We can discuss it because it's already in public domain. Got what a real journalist, a post journalist. The background of the story is this: the guy was investigating
Mom,
a
welcome.
story. Okay, he
Don't
was
say corporate.
investigating a story
No
where
corporate.
Amanani
But not this corporate.
PF were registering Malawians, giving them Mama NRCs, so that they have a large number of votes, which part in the Eastern Province. So that was we've always been hearing all these rumors that foreigners and they give them NRCs so that they have numbers. So this journalist got hold of that information and piece and was investigating. You know, once JJ Banda and his group, Amakaddas, found out about what this guy was doing, Vamukonka Vamuikata. He was badly beaten, you know, abducted, not abduction, Yabufi, but him, the journalist himself, actually was abducted by JJ Banda and his crew. Bamusenda motoka, drove him, he didn't even know where they took him. Bamupuma. After Bamupuma, you know, he had some money on him, he had a camera on him, and he was urinated in the mouth. This is the fact. It's on the internet. He was there explaining himself. He was on the internet. You can just go and check. You'll find the story it's there. He was explaining how this whole thing happened, and he's saying like, look, I went through all these things, and I feel like there wasn't justice, you know, done in that matter because at that time, like I was saying, JJ Banda and the PF cadres were untouchable. Okay, so these guys were very, very, very untouchable. So now this led to this guy to say maybe in the UPND government, I would find justice because look at the trauma that the guy has gone through. You know, there's no money on the planet of Earth that can erase that kind of memory. I mean, even me, really, if I had to go through that, I'll be thinking about it for the rest of my life. You know, that's why kubasungukula bamutwala kona kunda bamuchitala nkale bamutako hire a psychology to go and see to help him cope all these things. But of course, we know in Zambia we cannot have those we don't have those kind of luxuries. So the guy went through a trauma, and it pains him. He's embarrassed, and his family as well. You know, up to now I don't think he even works. I don't know if he has a job really as a journalist because going through something like that it's really really bad. And just to see you turn on your TV and you see the same person that did this to you is in Parliament making laws. So these are issues that we need to start looking at really deeply. And you know, yes, you know, he was a member of Parliament, but what did he do? He's got dirt on his hands. Okay, that's why they say he who goes to equity should come with clean hands. JJ Banda is not clean. That's why when you say don't call him a criminal, but he has done things in the past that have made him for people to even just say this guy is a criminal. He should never have held the office. He should never have been, you know, near anywhere near making laws in this country, in the country of Zambia, because he's
Yeah.
got dirty hands. Some people got dirty hands because of being corrupt. Some people, but him is dirty because he was under the PF umbrella where they used to brutalize and beat people and kill people. And that's a fact.
You know,
And people died during the PF. I rest my case.
can I come in now? You see, we need to understand the type of offense which JJ committed. Was it a civil offense or a criminal offense? If that
Criminal.
answered, then would be in the right. We'll talk right about him. If it's criminal, who is complaining? Is it an individual or is it the state? and that person who is complaining, has his human rights been violated, or is it raising any constitutional issues about him? The other thing we should also ask ourselves is, what are the contents of urine to such an effect that we should justify that umuntu kusundira omuntu mu kanwa is normal, which means the contents of urine are some kind of nutritional contents for a human body. Are we being fair? Surely, children to that man who was urinated in, their friends would say, "Barya bawiso basundire mu kanwa barya." Just imagine. No. JJ is for lack of a thug is an understatement. He's a hoodlum. But an hoodlum.
Imwe. Which in which after. Me, I have given you my opinion. That Imwe has not summarized the issue about JJ.
He's innocent, but
we have seen abantu abandi balepamana apapene balewuma abantu nalombaline abantu baleyibendalama a lot of things imitishiyeluba. No one is talking about it.
Those are civil offenses.
No. If government has made it, okay, me I've told you, if JJ is a criminal, let the justice system serve.
No, mbabutuka ku justice kaidi. Why alevutuka?
You not being treated well.
Is that
Do you need to be treated well?
Because if you let time way, how can even JJ say have justice? Where
He's going to at the right time.
You have made the verdict. You have made the verdict. Even here from our talk, there is nowhere where you are saying the justice must be there. Mulera that bad. Mamupele Milan.
Because nabutuka.
But
Nabutuka.
Number
Contempt.
The guilty is not
Contempt. Okay, contempt. Abutuke chidi.
Lekeni abadantare baje bachimba je also. We need to hear from you. It doesn't matter whether you support
that but doesn't make sense here, man. Umuntu are innocent, he must be subjected criminal to our justice system with a presumption that is innocent. Not that he's innocent, but what did you mean?
Okay, Ramashina.
Okay.
Lekeni tupele kwa chansi za abantu bambi balande.
Yes, what I would say myself is that.
Go ahead, Mr. Timber. Go ahead.
What I would say myself is that I don't think the first trial that JJ Banda went through was a fair trial. We all know that under PF, even the magistrates were controlled, and therefore that judgment was not fair. Now, the rules are the rules. Of course, he was found not guilty or found guilty of a lesser charge and charged. But the main contents of the case are that it was aggravated robbery. If anything, there are even other crimes that he committed that are yet to come to court. Because I know there is a rumor that he murdered a girlfriend, and that has not yet come out to court. So, but JJ, according to me, belongs to prison.
Thank you, Mr. Kishimba, the man in Zambia who knows everything. Bakazia, whatever arguments you're going to have, that member of parliament, the hoodlum, as one
I asked a question. We just speak around my question. One question that I asked. I agree that okay, let's take it that the justice system was compromised at that point in time, and JJ where are the people? Variama judges, instead of sending him to prison, are they still saving our justice system? What have we done to them?
Some of them have been transferred.
Well, I think I already answered you on that question.
That's not even an argument.
What have you answered?
If you remember, when the New Dawn government came into power, the first few months, There
What is the
were,
answer?
I'm answering, Kate.
Okay.
Magistrates were transferred from one place to another. Some have retired. Some resigned. And if you remember, the opposition then went into town. I think we had this discussion. The opposition went into town accusing the New Dawn government of actually targeting a certain group of tribe in the judiciary. There were those discussions, if you remember. So it doesn't mean that the magistrates that are in Jakarta or High Court are the same people. No, those are new people because they did go through a purging process that the opposition went to town on,
No.
accusing this government of
That
being
is not. You have not answered
tribalism.
the
Ah,
question.
here,
No,
here,
I'm
Wakalinda,
giving
here
you
I am.
the answer.
who
I'm
is the
giving you the
question?
answer.
I want
Hear
to
me
put
on
my
this one.
question.
Machanda, let me answer your question, Bakazia. They have been they have been disciplined administratively. There are many ways of discipline.
Kabucha,
Yes.
don't make people look stupid, Mamacha. You can't say,
No,
tell
no, no.
me, someone who obstructed justice by not sending someone who had what is aggravated murder, was some pay a fine at 10 pin. They dealt with you administratively. And
They
Well,
dealt with them administratively.
let us remember that the judiciary has a union, and those things are done exactly administratively.
what
Administratively.
Let's not have selective language here. Huh? There's a union that protects workers' rights.
measures
Yes.
are not part of that.
Yes.
No, measures are
Yeah. So
not part of
let's
that.
go there. Huh?
If you have a union, if you are getting there, you know them very well. Measures are not anywhere near that. They are not anywhere near that.
There's a judiciary union.
Okay. Moneniva Vakasia. I think we'll be bouncing around this issue for a long time. And the main thing is this: you've asked the question. You're saying what has happened to the people that were presiding over those cases. Okay, we can tell you. I've got no information on that. There's nobody here who has that information to
I
say,
have. I
oh,
have.
that magistrate court officer that ruled on that case has either been fired or been transferred, or I don't have that information. Okay, the only people that can answer that information are, of course, maybe Jack Wimbo and everybody else that's in that preview that have that information. We don't have that preview to that information, so we cannot tell you or answer you that no, those people were fired. But what do
No,
we
in
want?
fact, in
What
fact,
we want?
That's your inner. I can tell you without a doubt that when the new Dawn government came in, there were massive internal discipline. There were massive internal resignation or firings. I can guarantee that there was. And I know that because the opposition went into town accusing this government of targeting a certain number of people in the judiciary. Those reports are out there. You can even Google it right now. You get your answer right there. So, in fact, let's not even skate around the issue about where were those people? Where are they now? What is there now? Like Mr. Chishimba in Zambia said, there is a case that is targeting JJ Banda that he needs to answer to. But in his own wisdom, he decides to run away from his three wives, two of them are sisters, and 14
eh,
kids.
another,
Yes,
listen,
are living there.
I have a question for Wachanda Kazia.
Yep.
Wachanda
Uh-huh.
Kazia. Here
Empa.
is this is my thought. Huh? The serious thought. Those documents, those papers where those judgments are written by the judge, whatever. Do you think after that judgment was passed about JJ Kwadipira 150, twayasanga nombama judgment papers there?
But I don't know. And you see, these are the questions that we are asking all of us. One, for instance, Moneni, I'm a questions there which are not being answered, which you guys cannot give an answer is this. Number one, we don't know right now which judge meant
Yes.
exactly. What the administrative measure was being done. Today you fuck no nobody. No now for administrative measure on that person. or whoever might have made the decision on JJ. It's not in the public domain the way the case has been in public domain. If the case is in public domain, people that dealt with the case and the decisions made pertaining to that case must be in public domain. It must not be a preview of Wakalinda and me, Kazia, to know. It shouldn't be like that. Was it for the twice? Women and Dr. JJ, the Asunjiro Mukanobamu Ikata, what they decided 10,000 yard pocket. Hello, you suspect you the wish you know about the matter. I pocket in the lama. This are pocket in the lama 10 penny. Instead of one at therefore 2 million and therefore 5 million. Why did he accept the 10 penny? You see, so those things must be asked the questions and be answered. So I am not here to say Mr. Protect JJ. No, I am not.
I know you
I am
can't.
saying
You can't. You are a friend of the court.
Yes, I'm saying JJ must be given a fair hearing. That was Muland JJ. It was no Muland about obstruct justice. Because then justice was obstructed, it was not properly done. We must know them. Are they still adjudicating in Milandu similar to JJ, such that people will suffer in the same way that journalist is suffering? Where are they, those? Where are they?
Nomba pakufairisha omulando wina kwa JJ. Nomba why have to come? What are we going to do?
I never took a mistreatment. Mulenga mwaepusha ine question. Mlefa mpele answer yandi. Nala mpele answer according to the way I'm saying. I never took a kuba mistreated.
How is it being
my answer. But
how
I don't.
Is it documented?
How?
It's just a cry baby, that one.
Let me tell
cry
you
baby.
how. And I'm telling you how. Why how is like this? Number one, Imapa Nampanga a decision to say there was no fair trial. What is your basis for that there was no fair trial? It's because someone has gone back to say, oh, it was not done properly. Okay, properly. Where are the people that adjudicated on Umuland for it not to be done properly? Where are they? They're out of the picture. So, that is the unfair part in Dela Dapoine. That is how unfair this system is.
Bakazia. What do you mean unfair? I mean, we just answered you. I mean, whoever
Can you define unfair? Define unfair for us.
Unfairness comes where we punish JJ. Unfairness comes here, where we punish JJ for that offense and do not punish people that obstructed the right penalty on JJ.
How do you know they haven't been punished? Is the question.
Because I've not seen anything in the media.
Well, it's just you.
And no one has come at least to tell me to date. I've been asking that question. Where are they? Nobody has answered.
Okay.
So, in my opinion,
You've been asking this question. You've been asking it, and we're going to obviously we'll get some information and we'll answer it. But yes. But let's now talk about the matter at hand. 2 million kwacha abantu in Zambian yose. They want that 2 million kwacha.
Which 2 million kwacha?
Bounty on JJ. They've offered.
I wish
the police has said anybody who has information leading to the arrest of JJ Banda will be given 2 million kwacha. Okay?
Do you know that even the current IG, is it my deputy IG Masiandenge, there was a bounty? It is still there. He went out. Deputy Commissioner of Police, but he was from being a fugitive. So if you are Zambia, by the way people look at these things. Yes, I agree with you. We must be the fairness of our justice system must be transcended beyond just one victim. It must be an overhaul. What judges compromise, corruption, the judge must be arrested, isn't it? He must face the same law. Why should the moon to ask the moon to Mukanwa? Mamu Ikatafe, Mamuri Prisha 10 pin. Mamuri Prisha 10 pin, Afu Mambo. 7 years later, 7 years later, my side said, oh, number template matter on the same case. That's why
Okay. So I think on this matter,
I
before
think
we move on to the next one, what I'm going to say is this. The gentleman, the journalist that actually Ovamsundire Mukanya. Another case that you can actually add on is sexual assault, because that's a sort of like a sexual assault case. And just because Mozambique will not talk what certain laws, we have them already, but we need just to strengthen them and implement them. Because umuntu ngakusundira mukanywa, that's a sexual assault, and it's a real crime. It's a real case. It's something that actually he can also be judged or prosecuted on. So among other things that he did, add that one. The journalist, if you ever hear this, add that case, that charge as well. Because there's no way umuntu he can have that liberty. Like, who are you? Are you God? Like, I mean, who does that? Really, who does that? What kind of human being are you? First of all, if you reach at
Did
that
the mouth
level where you do something to another human being, then
did the,
really, what kind of person are you? One more
did the
thing.
mouth
So
for that journalist look like a toilet or a urinary?
those are the things, you see. So those are the things. So he needs to add that case. It's a charge as well. It's called as
Mhm.
a sexual assault. It may sound like the sexual assault is not just the sex. If it comes in different categories. This is part of it. So we need. Sometimes maybe he may not have that information, but if he's got lawyers, let them look into this one and add it as well. Because I really really follow things like that, and he shouldn't be subjected to. He's been humiliated his whole life. He's been humiliated for what? And why should somebody who did that become a hero? Why should he be protected? Why should he be? He's being unfairly treated. Like, there's nothing being fairly untreated when you're facing the laws. You just have to go through, just like any other ordinary human being. The time that you're charged with those things, you 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 deceased to have that privilege. Ile privilege mkwata ama members of parliament. Opo ipira prape, you know. So that's why we've been saying all these years, all this time, like, look, umuntu ali mu courts of law, aleya kunani kukoti in a government vehicle na flag. How are the judges going to judge you like that? You're looking in their face, they're saying that umuntu, if I make a bad decision, aleya umuntu, aleya kukoti
Mhm,
na flag ya Zambia,
mhm,
kumotoka, driving a government vehicle,
mhm.
okay? Aya kukoti,
Government fuel.
ayingira mu koti,
Amwandi-
nefima kaddazi nafiminina mu koti mulya. Judge, do you think the judge will make a proper decision? Naletina, if I do this, balanjipaya, banjipayira abaana, and then I'll be fired maybe because uyu muntu is still in power.
Mm,
So
awe no.
that's why we were saying, like, look, when you are if a government official is going through this case,
Mhm,
they need either to resign,
mhm.
okay, until the case is proven in the courts of law,
Okay.
and then they can come back. It has happened before. But
Mhm.
why in the PF regime this was never done? And if
Ja-
Eddie
ja-
Kalungu, we can
ja-
ask
ja-
the
Don't just
journalist.
talk about PF.
No,
Also,
what?
in the UPND government, it has not been
No,
done.
no, 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 no,
Wow.
no.
ACC told us they're investigating ministers. We have never been told which minister is being investigated. It is
Yeah, but
now
let
meanwhile,
them
the president
investigate. I
said,
told you even last week.
Eh.
I told you last week. Let them investigate. Once they finish investigating,
that I
they're
don't.
going
How
to
do you
review.
investigate people that are seated in the offices?
No. But look at this. Why you want to alarm? Why you want to alarm them?
No, yeah,
Gabasta,
don't
if they
tell us.
mention today
Do not
that
tell us you're investigating
But
them.
Sophia, why are we even going there? Why are we even going to a topic that we already took care of?
yeah, we discussed that one.
Let's move
Yeah.
on. Let's move on. Let's
It was
Yeah.
nice revision.
because
It was a
there's
I
nice
think
revision over JJ.
yeah,
Can we
I
there's
move
think
on?
there's a time factor here, and we've been
Yeah, we
on
can just
for
talk about
an hour. We
JJ.
can't just talk about JJ
I agree
all
with
day,
you
all day
completely.
long. But I will still say this: he's a fact. If Nelly Much is listening to me, declare that seat vacant.
When I'm way.
All right, now let's move on. Let's move on from that fact, and the next topic is, of course, again, opposition. All about opposition. Savoy in boiler. The other half of Chatel. And now, if you follow Zambian music like I do, you would know what I'm talking about. So she's having an 11-day prison staycation right now because for contempt. She decided not to go to court. And so the judge this past week just slapped her 11-day prison sentence for contempt. Gentlemen, are these kind of politicians that we want us to lead us, really, who are out there not taking care of the law, but they want to just make the laws as they go, as if they. These are the people we expect to respect our constitution if they are breaking the law right now in the opposition. Gentlemen, let's start with you, my lousy doctor husband. Liswaniso in sunny Puerto Rico. Your comment on your on Savoy in Boil.
All right, Savoy Imboila, my comment about my sister, Savoy.
Mm-hmm.
I think these Ukwa PF faction people.
We can't hear you. Are you still on the beach, Mashwendo?
He is.
Come on.
We can hear him now.
Eh?
You can't hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Are you still basking?
Ah, just go there, go fishing. You. The the thing about Savoy is that she's been too careless for a long time, and people haven't. I think she's been getting away with the being. She's a politician, of course, but she needs to choose her words properly. And in politics, doesn't mean that just because you're in opposition, you can say anything you want. You have to be a responsible opposition person. Give options. If the ruling party is making they are making mistakes, come with options. That's what people do here. They have what is called a shadow government. The shadow government has everything in place. They have the budget, they have everything. They know what they're going to do if they voted in power. But to have people like Imboila that just come there and start insulting and doing all sorts of things, I think that's not good responsibility, being a good opposition person. So I think it's a good lesson for her to go in behind bars for 11 days. I think she's learning something. After that, she'll come out and maybe watch her mouth next time. So to me, I think maybe a month. They should have given her a month behind bars. 11 days is not enough for my sister. I know she's my sister, but I think she needed more time behind bars. Her mouth is, it should be disciplined.
Right. Oh, great, great comments there, Mr. Himwami.
Savoy, firstly, she's a woman. And being a woman, she's a mother. What is she teaching her children? To be lawbreakers, children that cannot abide by the law? It's not right. Then she wants to gain political mileage, like she was once incarcerated for 11 days. So she will suddenly become a hero. When Ukwa forms government, she can claim something to say, I was falsely imprisoned for 11 days. I must be given court. Please. Contempt of court is very serious. Wasting the court's time is an offense. There are a lot of cases that they have to look at. But look, they are waiting for you at the court and then suddenly you don't show up. Whose time are you wasting? Government time. Government pays for those judges, those lawyers. There are a lot of resources that go into a case. Suddenly umuntu no monekela. Slap with them with contempt so that they learn their lesson. So for that 11 days, it's fine. It's a learning point to everyone. I was nearly charged contempt one time when I did not appear before a local magistrate. But what saved me was a document from hospital. That saved me. Otherwise, contempt was going to be slapped on me. So I understand what contempt is. Just not reporting. It's insubordination of the highest order. You see, when we respect the law, we should also fear those that are dispensing justice. We need to be respecting the law means we have to keep time. We have to be judicious with it. Where we should like take a court, a place where no one can go and do masevera kuja. You don't go there. You don't go to play at the gallery. That's not a gallery. It's not a comedy. It's a place for serious business. If you go there, you have a case, it's looked at, justice is given, done. But you choose not to go there. Who are you underestimating? If everyone sees that no one is going, people stop going to court and nothing is done to them, they will take it as business as usual. But from this, everyone is learning a lesson. Contempt, 11 days, it's okay. In fact, he's not the first person to go for 11 days. There was a journalist who went for 1 week in prison. Or was it for a day from 6 to 18 hours? So it's okay. It's fine. Let us save our days. Thank you. I submit.
Vakasi.
Wakazia does not support illegalities. He knows that even deep in his mind.
Vakasi.
He's a friend of the court.
I have no
He's a friend of the court.
I have no comment. I don't have the facts that led to her being sentenced. I would
Yeah,
be
but you are a friend.
No,
But you are a friend of the court.
Yes, I am, but I have no facts.
Yeah. So you are a friend of the court.
Yeah,
So I'm happy.
So I have no facts. I will not comment on that one.
He is deflecting.
No, I'm not deflecting. I just have no facts.
Bachelor.
I will be biased, so I don't want to be. I have no facts. When I have facts, I can always
deflection.
The
art of deflection has been perfected by
imamufere mwakwata comment vachanda
facts.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, I think you don't really need the facts on this case. It's just the way it's supposed to be. If somebody you know abscond or you don't show up when you know you've got a court case, it's straightforward. So in me, my thinking is this. Just like Ramasha was saying. I think they are trying, because these Ukwa people, what they're doing is they want to come up with all these. They're doing it deliberate. It's a deliberate move. Because obviously, there's no way that she didn't know that she had to appear in court. It's impossible for her not to know. One, we know her is, somebody who's honorable. Maybe I don't know, but she's in politics and she's heading a political party. Obviously, she has channels and she has, she has people that work for her and she has people that represent her.
She's of fixed abode.
Yeah, and there's no way she did not receive that notice that you're supposed to appear.
She's of fixed abode.
So if she ignored that, it's a deliberate move. And what they're trying to do is trying to make it look like the opposition is being persecuted for nothing or whatever, when these are actual court cases, and instead of just solving it and resolving all these issues, you decide to abscond. Now, what does the law say when you abscond? So the law just takes its charge, and now you look at the opposition, everybody's saying, oh, HH is arresting us, opposition. HH is not the one who goes there and tells people, And this is what, no. HH is so busy
It-
doing other important things.
It's
The
in the
law just takes its
executive.
course. The
It's in
law
the
itself
executive.
just takes its course, just like the way it's supposed to happen. If you do something wrong, the law will come knocking on your door. If you abscond court, the law will come knocking on your door. So don't do the wrong thing and blame it on a church. Okay? It's just one individual. It's just one individual. And I don't like what I'm hearing on the internet, everything. Oh, HH, stop arresting us. HH, stop prosecuting. What? HH is not the person that is, you're breaking the law. Why are you breaking the law? And you think the law will just sit quiet and just, fold their arms and look at you because you're going to say that it's HH is doing it? No. The law will come and knock on your door and tell you, my friend, let's go. You need to save some time. So that's my submission on that one. Thank you.
Right. Shall we move on to
Now
the
let's
next
move
Yes.
on.
topic? Because this one has no comment on that. I'm also deflecting.
Mwakopela. Mwakopela.
Nakopela, I'm also deflecting.
Mwakopela. Bachanda bakopela abo bakopela abo.
Yo,
I'm also
can't you
deflecting.
want to say that? That quiet into but what I tell you?
All right, now let's finally talk to some good news. Bali announced $1 million CDF um, increase in the next budget. And I know Batilufe has other, Bakazi has other things to say on that. So let's let's go ahead, Bakazi. The $1 million CDF increase. Your comment.
I've never been. I have never been a supporter of that level of money in the constituency without a proper framework under which this money is being used. When I heard Magari Nkombo talk about massive corruption that is happening in CDF projects, it kind of gave me a chill feeling about it. Because you don't increase something that you've failed to make sure that safety measures and risk assessment is done. So that, at least you keep it at where it is until you're able to manage it properly with all the risk kind of measures being taken into consideration. And also, we need to see some kind of prosecution for those that are involved in corruption in CTF. But without that, I don't think I would be very happy with that without safeguards. So I really need the safeguards. If the safeguards are given, yes, then we can have increase. But when I heard Garin Combo, when I heard Honorable Garin Combo and Honorable want to talk about those kind of risks in terms of corruption and people not really applying themselves properly, I would love that first of all a clear system is put in place which actually deals with the risks and the issues that the ministers and the honorable ministers have actually brought up. So that is my view on that. CDF is a good measure, but not when it is not properly done.
I have a question on that one. Bachanda. And maybe everyone here.
Yep.
Can we rate the success story for CDF? Let's give it a percentage, or let's mark it out of 10. To what extent do you think CDF has saved the needs?
No,
Out of 10.
To be
Out
honest
of
with
10.
you, to be honest with you, I don't know.
Bachanda, let's deal with numbers here. Numbers.
If you
Choose a number between choose a number between 0 and 9.
Huh?
Choose a number between 0 and 9.
I will say 5.
5. That's 50%. Bachanda.
Mm-hmm.
Bachanda kutuma apela shinga.
It has worked 100%.
100%. Okay.
And the reason.
No, don't give reasons, madam. What percentage can you give it?
I'm gonna give it. I'll be honest. I'll give it 75%.
But doctor.
He's
Is he there?
enjoying those Puerto Rican women.
Okay.
Look
From
at
what
him.
we've talked about so far, can I
Actually,
allow
want
me
to
to give
join
it a
you.
percentage? Allow me to give it a percentage.
Go
I would
ahead.
give it 75%. Any system has got failures. There's a nangutia to research kulaba hypothesis now and chanfidai. Research hypothesis now and void something real and unreal. Why? So from those bad areas where it has not worked well, we can only polish. There's no perfect system under the earth here. From those mistakes, we can learn something and perfect it. It was not given, CDF was not given to us by God. It's not a divine project. It's a human project that is bound to fail, and those failures can be corrected by the same humans. But advise them. See where we can move from 5 to 11 out of 10. Not bad. 1 million, it's okay. Mhm.
Well,
I yield.
let's actually bring in the man in Zambia. I mean, these are the people that probably are more adverse to the CDF than we do. I mean, as we just hear pronouncements, and I mean, we had my honorable MP last week here talk about CDF. You heard the figures he was giving. Mr. Joseph Chilufya in Lusaka. I don't know what constituency you are in. I'm in Chalala, so I know how CDF works. So, Mr.
Okay.
Chilu,
I need
your
to.
take on this CDF?
Yes, but I need to make some full disclosure first before I make my take. I am actually just visiting Zambia.
Oh,
I
okay.
I live in England in Birmingham.
Oh,
I've only
great.
been here for the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
My
great. So
neighbor.
So
My
maybe
neighbor.
give us your. I was in Birmingham because when I traveled to UK, my sister lives in Preston, so we usually come over there for the little tourist stuff. So I can full
yes,
disclosure here.
so
Go
yeah,
ahead.
so my assessment of the CDF, I think the extent it's done well in rural areas
Mhm.
compared to the urban areas is different. So in rural areas, I would give it even 9%, especially if we are talking about this Chanda's constituency. I think, what's his
Kanchibia.
name again? The
Kanchibia.
Kantibia, yes.
Yes.
In
Yes.
Kantibia, I would give it 95%. But there are some urban constituencies where, because of the needs and the populations, that money has had very little effect, even as low as 2%.
Mhm. I actually agree because I was in Zambia last week. Did I say last week? Sorry, in April through May, and what I saw in Chalala, I didn't see any movement in CDF.
I have a question for you, colleagues. I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, what do you make of the revelations by the Minister of Local Government, who is the custodian of CDF, and the Minister of Finance, on the issue to do with corruption in CDF? What is your comment? I want to hear your
I'll
comment
go
about that.
first. I think corruption is a concept that started with Chiluba, of course, and now it's rooted in the fabric of our society, and it's going to take a while. 2 years or 3 years to fight this cancer is not enough. So I mean, yes, corruption is there. We all know that. I am comforted by the fact that those that are being caught in the cookie jar are being arrested. And case in point is that Mungu mayor who was arrested last year, and with all his councillors for misusing of CDF funds. Our MP from my MP from Lugwalo, Babala MP, did come in here last week, and he gave us of an example of a WC guy who was caught, fraudulently using CDF funds, and he was made to pay back. So there are some movements, but like Mr. Mwami said, this is not going to take one day. it's going to take a while. And yes, we need to perfect our system that fight this scourge, and the people that we are actually, appointing to spearhead this cause for us. So I will end there. I think I've spoken enough. Let the man in Puerto Rico, maybe those beautiful Puerto Rican women have disappeared from his side. Doc Liswaniso, do you want to give your friend Mr. Kazia an answer to his question about corruption?
Can I
Oh,
come in? Can I come
please
in?
come in, Mr. Mwami.
You see, when we talk about these works being done by individuals, we should look at the people. What kind of leadership do we have? We have this recycled people that they have they've tested the money gotten through illegal ways, and if they have found that the source where things are happening, they will still more steal. So even in CDF, some of the challenges we are finding, it's because we are using a council system that was left by the previous regime. They know how to fake procurements. They know how to inflate BOQs for their own benefit. And if CDF fails, we say the whole project is failing. When it's the individuals that are failing the system, the money is there. The president means well by even increasing, but the characters, the animal in man, the greed, the selfishness, where they want to sink a borehole for 50,000 kwacha, when the same borehole can be sunk for 15,000. Let's be serious on this one. We cannot have a situation where one is calling for due diligence, then the other one is saying, let's just spend. It's not possible. CDF money has to be accounted for. Some of the failures for CDF are as a result of the people that were left by the previous regime who want to frustrate government in all its good efforts of developing the nation. And when we look at developing the nation in the rural areas, CDF has worked. There's a school, at least there's a clinic, at least there's a health post. Somewhere there's a deep tank, somewhere there's a road that has been made, somewhere there's a bridge. CDF has alleviated, it has reduced. It will not completely eliminate the suffering, but it will lessen the suffering that Zambians go through in their day-to-day lives.
Great, Mr. Mwami. Now we have a new entrant. Let me bring in a. He looks familiar. Mr. Whitney Lukulu. Please tell us where you're joining us from. And we are having a discussion here on. You can just jump anywhere you want. The first topic we talked about was the 2 million Kwacha JJ disappearance bounty. And then, of course, we talked about. She's probably your sister. Savoy's Imboylazi, 11 days sentence for contempt. And now we're talking about CPL. Please join us.
Thank you very much. I've tuned in from Canada, the West Coast,
Oh, welcome.
in Victoria, and I haven't followed the stories very much about JJ and all that, but I would like to know more.
And
All right. Bachelofia, dear Bachelofia, please
Yes.
take your
give
pick.
him a
Well,
heads up.
Tell him, give him
what
the
we've
heads up.
done is welcome, our big man, of course, from BC.
Mhm.
I think we've interacted on other platforms and all that stuff. Thank you for joining us. So what we've been discussing really is we've been discussing JJ Banda's escape because he escaped. I don't know if you heard about it. He
Yes, I
escaped
did.
from police custody, and there's a bounty of 2 million kwacha being offered for anybody who's got the information. That's going to lead to the arrest. And I was actually a lot of all these surrogates of the PF who are online, just like Radha Nikania, who are Tayari, the fugitive as well. He's saying he was insinuating the fact that the police themselves have helped him to escape and is actually out of the country already. Even if they are looking for him, he's out of the country. So they probably know more than we do, because of course this thing there's a big machine that's
All right, we can just go
sponsoring
back to
or
we lost him back to
yeah. So
let's go back
um
to the
yeah, let's go back to what were we saying?
CDF
Progress.
Oh
progress.
yeah, no,
Like as
no,
I did question about corruption in CDF. What
yeah.
our thoughts were.
Well, I mean, corruption will be anywhere. Like wherever there's money, I think it's just a human thing. Muntu fi, ofwaba. Wherever there's money, there's going to be corruption.
Where
It's
there's
not the fact.
something.
Yeah, it's
Where there's
not that
something.
it should be a UPND fort or whatever party fort. Wherever money is, okay, there's going to be corruption. And we all know CDF is something that is new. It's a new program. And of course, we do have measures. As I was saying, we don't have measures. There are measures there. And we know, like, and the only thing is this: the only way where people are seeing that CDF is not working, it's only the areas where the opposition is working. Some opposition. Most of these independent people are working very well, and very few patriotic front MPs are doing well in the CDF sector. But if you look deeply, most of them are deliberately not providing for their people in their constituency. That brings me to the fact that, look, why did you become a member of parliament when you don't want to serve the people? Whoever or whichever government is in power is what you should work with. Okay? So to them, it's sort of like a personal thing. You see, like most, and like there's a lot of MPs that don't implement CDF. And the people in the constituencies are saying, civil servants are the CDF is because of their member of parliament. He doesn't want to work with the government of the day because he's in the opposition, trying to make the current government look bad, trying to sabotage government efforts. But just if you're a human, really, why would you, when you know that you can do this with the money and CDF is being given at once? That's a good part. That's
You
a good
see,
part about the current government. They're giving CDF at once to each and everybody. Doesn't matter whether you're a UPND, whether you're a PF, whether you're SP. I don't even know whether SP has got any MPs, but anyway, I don't know. So National Weka
I
Party,
will.
everybody is being given equally at
I
the
want
same
to
time.
comment.
Well,
I
let me
want to
let me
comment.
finish and then you can come in. Let me finish and you come in. You come in. Let me just finish.
Okay, okay.
So, like I was saying, look, we cannot blame. That's why people are saying, well, it's 75, it's 50%, it's 5 out of 10. It's because of those things where certain people who have been given that responsibility to deliver these things are not doing it 100%. They're not doing it wholeheartedly. They're trying to sabotage the current government's efforts in providing economic development to the people of Zambia. Look at what has happened. Um, you look at social cash transfer, it has also been increased. It's double now. Those that were getting 400 kwacha, they're now getting 800. Those that were getting 800 are now getting, uh, 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 you know, 1,200, thereabout. So things are improving. There's more liquidity in the community, and people are able to go and say, look, the current government is working. The current government is giving us this. But we've never seen, since he was elected, we've never ever seen our member of parliament in our area. They're busy drinking tea in parliament and they're all in Lusaka. Go to your constituency. That's why Michael Sata was strict about this thing. If you're a member of parliament in the Kanchivia or wherever, or Vakampyongo bafuma kwisa, nikwisa kulya Vakampyongo. Where's that? I forget.
Somewhere in northern province, some Chinga, somewhere about, I think.
Go there, be with the people. Don't just sit in town and live in a lavish mansion while the rest of the people are suffering and they're complaining they're not receiving
Right.
anything. All right. So I rest my case. There's so many that
Yeah,
examples that we can give.
Yeah.
here I come in again to on the same CDF. Here is a completed project. It's ready to be handed over. You have this DC who is from the government side. You have this MP who is maybe in opposition. You have this council chairperson who is also from another party. You also have maybe the MP who is also from another party. They are quarreling over who should hand over. Look at the grid. Just look at the grid. Project has been finished. It's
Uh,
supposed to now work for the good of the people. They are
mhm.
quarreling and even delaying on the project to be handed over to the people. Look at the grid. Bafiro kuliendalama project yapwa. Yapo project bakula, let the project serve its intended purpose. They are now quarreling. Who should be there to hand over? Is it the DC? Is from government? Is it the MP? No, I'm the area member of parliament. I'm in charge. The council chairperson? No, I'm in charge as well. The MP has to hand over so that he can gain mileage. You see, when it's campaigning, he should say, look at that project. The council chairperson is also eyeing a position in the next elections. He wants to be the one to be said he's the one who delivered these things. The human greed and corruption does not just end at money. It even comes to handing over. There is a police station in Nampundwe that it took almost 6 months to hand it over. It was done, but you'd find no, this person is not there. No, there's this other thing. It can't be done. No, it's not just right. It's not right. Human minding. Abantu nga batambe kwangalia kuli development. They want to frustrate the intended purpose. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we are seeing CDF failing at a point of handover when project and when they delay to handover. Do you know what happens? Even some materials that were put there, they start to be vandalized. Glass panes, doors, and they go back to square one. Corruption,
But that's a good
human greed.
problem. I think that's a good problem to have, in my opinion.
No,
Yes.
Vakalinda, we can't have a good problem like corruption.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I knew it
How?
was
That
coming.
that
But
can't be Vakalinda.
it's a good problem to have.
Corruption.
Yes, I think it's
Oh,
being dealt
okay.
with and it will be dealt with.
No. I'm happy if that is what you are saying. Corruption
It
is a
will
good.
be dealt with.
It will, but for now it's not dealt with. I
It's
agree with
being
you. The
dealt
kind
with.
of dealing with it, yes, but for now it's not dealt with. It's a
It's
problem.
being dealt with, and we have examples to give, like I said,
For what?
how corruption is being dealt with.
Anyway,
Yes, it is. We have a full Mungo Council secretary and all his people arrested for corruption.
we needed to
We,
arrest the DG first for corruption.
who?
The DG for corruption. That would be the same as the person who will be put in places.
I mean, how he's being
Hmm?
investigated, but the
We
investigations are
needed.
not over,
You
are
see,
they?
one second, you see, we leave the grand, big corruption and go for these little boys that will cut 2,000 not why Alama million, 34 million, 2 million, what? For me, that is the selectiveness I don't like.
No, it's
Honestly.
not. It's being investigated,
Hmm?
Gladney. Rome wasn't built in a day. Anyway,
Oh, no.
let's bring in Mr. Lukulu, see if he has any words. Comment on what we're talking about, and we're talking about corruption within the CDF project. Mr. Big man here, Mr. Lukulu from Canada.
You're muted. You're muted.
Go, yeah,
Hello,
Unmute
can
yourself.
you hear me?
yeah, go, yeah. We can hear you
Yes,
now.
we can hear you now.
Yeah, yeah. I was visiting Zambia in April, March and April this year, and I saw a lot of CDF, vehicles driving around and so on. But what I'm not really aware of is how they come up with the projects. You know, are these projects initiated by the people, Do they go out and hold meetings and inform the people and suggest, get feedback from them and suggestions as to what the people want? Or do they just conceive the projects themselves and then try and implement them?
No,
To
those
me, what they're
Yeah.
supposed to do,
those
what they're supposed to do is to hold meetings and the public, go town halls and all that and discuss and then make a list of the projects that the people want and support. And those are the ones they can at least contract us to start implementing. But I don't know how it's done. So if
We
you
can
leave it
answer
to
you,
the
but
if you leave
yeah.
it to the people, then corruption will creep in because they will talk to their friends and those that are contractors and tailor the project to them, right? So
Yeah.
Allow
what
me
do
to
As
answer
far
him.
as I know,
mm,
it's community based.
okay,
Yes.
Okay. So mostly what happens is, when they sit, they go to the community and
yeah,
ask what is the most pressing issue in this community or in this constituency. What do we
uh-huh,
need the most? And then the people say, no, we need the maternity wing at the clinic. We have a clinic, but we don't have a maternity wing. We have to travel 100 kilometers wherever to go and give birth. So they suggest those things. So it's community based.
yeah,
So that's what it's been, and that's how it's always been. So just to answer your question, really, yes, they consult the community, and the community bring out suggestions. They would say maybe we need a school, or maybe we
mm,
need a secondary school. Some places only have just a primary school, and the kids have to travel many kilometers just to go and attend secondary school to a very far away place. And you know how people live in the villages; they have to walk all the time. So they say, can we have a community, a school that we have a primary and we have a secondary school? So that's why you're seeing all these schools mushrooming up and down. It's because
mm-hmm,
of the community's concern. They are always going to tell what they want. So there's nothing like, they're just, suggesting to say, this is what we're going to do. No, no, no. It has to go through the community.
Uh,
But,
Oh,
but,
Yeah.
so
Can
but,
I?
but
Can I?
either way,
excuse me,
either
I,
way,
I
so
don't agree with that. I do not agree.
hello,
of
excuse
course,
me,
of course, why am I not surprised?
No, there's a reason why you can't even be surprised. He asked a very important question. Are these projects determined by the community for them to be effective? Some projects
I
are
said
not.
yes.
yeah,
Some projects are
Yes.
not. They are just, we had Honorable Musanje here who said what the government has decided. Oh, this amount goes here. This amount goes here. Not that the community has said this amount is what we're going to use here. That is what is raising there, is to say these projects, whatever the entire 35 million must be decided by the community, not by central government. To say, oh, now we're going to
they
put this.
are decided by the community, Bakazi.
Bamusanje bali
I
okugeba.
mean, I mean, we had my MP from Babawa last week, and
Can I
he
chip
brought
in?
out this project.
Can I chip
There's a
in? Can
recording
I
here
chip
you
in
can
and
play.
add something? Can I chip in and add something?
Go ahead,
The man
Mr.
from Canada. I'm a teacher by profession. At a time when
We
the
went
needs
together to college,
assessment,
you know that.
come
There
again.
goes Bakazi.
Yeah,
I
we
want
went
to
to college
I want to
together.
explain this from the grassroots.
Yeah, tell it,
When
Baba.
they came for needs assessment, the community met at school. And being a guidance teacher, pupils had complained over the bridge. So when they were voting for the project, I said you cannot vote for this project in the absence of the pupils. So I mobilized pupils who were above 18 to join the gathering in as far
Can you
as
repeat, guys?
voting for the bridge is concerned, and they voted unanimously, and the bridge was voted for. So it is going to be done because pupils were finding challenges in crossing over the stream to the school. Not necessarily parents, but pupils who want to learn. So needs are drawn from what the community wants. Communities, the members of a community include the youth and children. If the children are wise enough to say, we want a play park like our friends in town have, that CDF is meant for such things. But where's the voice for the child? Thank you.
Anyway, you see, one of the critical elements of having this conversation is about when there are gaps. You people, we raise the gap. Say this is a gap because Honorable Musanje was here. You remember when he explained how the money CDF is and what government direction is. You tell people that are going to buy all the constituencies police vehicles, all the constituencies you buy. In Central, by the time you are buying those, they are already level 3. Who is making the decision that to buy all the police officers, the vehicles, every constituency? Is it that what people say? That is a decision of central government. Where was the money of the chunks? It was taken from CDS. So the point of saying, let's have the community decide the entire money that we need the school here. We need 50 boreholes in this community. It is supposed to come from the community, not central government to decide. Capital projects are supposed to be done by the Ministry of Local Government and Housing. You see it on CDS. Honorable Musanja had only 15 million to do with. 15 million was gone, already shared, even before it has it in the constituency. So these are some of the critics that they're having over CDS. And we want you guys to listen, and the government to listen to say, they need more than this. That is why I was telling you the first days, before you increase the pay to 1 million, these are some of the gaps that must be dealt with. But anyway, if you think it doesn't make a lot of sense, well, good, you can just ignore it.
And I'm saying, Abakazi, and I'm saying that's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have because, as you say, I'm pretty sure the people that are listening that will make those adjustments as we go, as opposed. Now, again, you're going to shoot me on this, as opposed to what used to be happening in the PF, where these constituencies were getting 1.6 million kwacha, which wasn't even reaching them. At least now, yes, I mean, constituencies are getting, I mean, is that what we are at 28 million? They are seeing something. They are seeing schools in their, constituents being done. They are seeing clinics, maternity wings. They are seeing bridges being done. They are seeing roads being done in their community. Yes, some of the components of the CDF, goes towards capital project, like you say, but at least there's something that goes into the community as well. And if at some point those guidelines needs to be changed, I'm pretty sure this government is a listening government. They will change. And now back to Mr. Lukulu.
Well, I when I was in Zambia, I stayed in the village for 1 month, and as I said, I saw these Land Rovers or whatever vehicles they're using. Drive around, but I never saw any meeting. I never saw any community meeting at all. And I
Those
approached some. I said, I approached some. I approached one. I said, hey, what's all this about? Said, oh, come to the office. We will tell you about it. So, but I didn't go. But what I'm emphasizing, but I hear that they do consult the community. One would ask, what kind of community? Who are, what do you define as a community? Is it selected people that people choose and gather together, or do they open it to the public? And what kind of, meetings do they hold? Are they public meetings? I mean, those questions, I don't know if you can define them as community meetings if they don't involve the community at large.
Can I chip in there, please?
Go ahead, Doc.
Yes, my brother here from Canada. Which part of I wasn't in the room when you came in. I'm sorry. I'm doing 100 things at the same time. Which part of Canada are you from, my brother?
Okwaperetalo.
I'm based in Ontario myself.
Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh, up
BC.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah.
Oh no, we are in Ontario. Some of us.
Oh, you are in Ontario, yes.
Yes.
I'm in Victoria, BC.
You're in Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, regarding your question, every constituency has been given the guidelines by the Ministry of Local Government on to forming what are known as constituency development committees.
Uh-huh.
And the members of those committees are very, very, very clear. The MP is one of the members, and then
Yeah.
the council chair is a member. Then we have the bishops, the church people, and all that, the headmasters.
Yeah.
So the constituency development committees are very, very solid. What can I say? Bodies that every constituency in the country knows how to, to make that. And those are the people that go to their people, the bishops,
Yeah.
the pastors in the community. They go in the church and get opinions from their congregation. The teachers, the headmasters, they ask their teachers and pupils and stuff. So there is a very, very, very definite, nice committee.
Yeah.
That is where and the MP is part of that committee, and they consult the community. So if you go to church, you can talk to your pastor who is part of that committee, and then your idea will be taken to the committee. So it's a very transparent process, and members of public are told when the committee is meeting. Once a month, they meet once a month, and they receive suggestions from the public, and they vote on those projects. For example, if the public say they want that bridge to be done instead of building a headmaster's school, the committee votes.
Yeah.
And then if they agree unanimously, that's fine. But if there's a split voting system, they have to vote for certain projects. So it's very, very clear.
Yeah.
It's a document. It's written down by the minister, combos or ministry to all constituencies on how to form these constituencies and how to consult the people in the constituency for the projects that they want to do. But the only problem the only challenge, which is a good challenge, as my sister has been saying, is that the money that's called CDF is the money that Ministry of Finance used to manage to run national developmental projects. So this money now has been given to the constituencies themselves. And therefore, the country, the nation, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of whatever, they still have a say in a way to say these are national projects which the nation as Zambia used to put a priority to. For example, the government of Zambia wants to build palaces for the chiefs, senior chiefs, not all chiefs, senior chiefs. All right. So this was a national project, but this national project has been given to the MPs through the CDF money. And in that 30 million kwacha, the MPs have been told, you have projects that you have to do that follow the national plan, national development plan. In addition to that, you have to do your constituency development plans. But here's a lump sum. So they're given they're given the projects that the president wants to be done in the country as a whole.
Yeah.
For example, they would say, you, Joseph Musanje, you have a chief, senior chief in your constituency. The government wants every senior chief to have a palace. Here's a $30 million. You have to spend at least $1 million kwacha on a chief's palace. That's what the government wants. And the government also wants this project around the country. These projects, the national development projects, are uniform across the country. Across. So once you have fulfilled that as an MP or as a constituency development committee, you remain with some change. And that change that you remain with now, you are free to do what? To have your own development projects, which nobody's going to question you about. But you have to, first of all, to do the national development plans in your constituency. To me, that is very, very good, because we are going to have development across the country in a uniform manner. There's nothing like in Chadiza, the MP, the constituency has done this. in Bavala, so national development projects will take place in every constituency. All right. So the only difference is that individual constituency projects are going to differ based on the people in that constituency. But when we talk about national development projects, they will all take place across the country, because that's a directive that every constituency is given after receiving that 30 million Kwacha development money. So it's a good as my sister said, yeah, my wife actually, not my sister. As my wife, I shouldn't call her my sister anymore. As my wife has said here, it's a very good problem to have, and we are gonna fine tune it. We're gonna, as we go along, we'll see how best to do these things. But to be honest, it's a good problem to have, and things are just gonna get better as we refine the processes in the country, and we're gonna have uniform development across the country, unlike before, where we had these sort of developmental. We used to have 5 secondary schools opened in one part of Zambia, Shan secondary school, Shan secondary school, in one place only. And then there were no secondary school being opened in any parts of the country. So now we're going to have uniform developmental plans, because the president has directed all constituencies to do those projects first. And the office of the State House has somebody that goes around the constituencies to enforce that, to make sure the constituencies are following the presidential directive. So they go there. What's her name again? That's my sister who goes around. There's an office at State House that monitors the national projects to make sure that they are done in every constituency. Okay, so it's a good thing to do. So yeah, that's how the people are being consulted. The only problem is not a problem. The only good problem is, once you have done your national project directives, how much money are you remaining with to do your own project in the constituency?
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But as Musanje said last time, they remain with about 15 million. Half of that money, after doing what the president wants them to do in the constituency, they remain with 15 million, which is much, much better than 1 million they used to get before. So we are still good. Thank you.
Well, that's very clear. Thank you very much.
I think you are muted, my friend.
Who muted me? Okay. So I'm saying
thank you very much. I heard that, and it was well explained.
okay. Progress.
Okay, I think let's move ahead, ladies and gentlemen. I think the next topic at hand is Fred Membe's arrest. I don't know if everybody heard about the arrest of Dr. Fred Membe, the Socialist Party leader, and
I heard and I've seen the convoy of trucks that are between Tingola and the Congo border. It is a sad state of affairs. Because of that closure of the border, trucks cannot get into Congo. Let's be serious with some statements we make. It is becoming very difficult for brothers and sisters who are truck drivers to sleep in the bush, no toilet, no bathroom, because the border is closed. They can't go in. They're just sleeping pampangaki because of one chap who makes a careless statement. All they want to do at the end of the day is, I was imprisoned. May I be compensated by the state? Let's be serious in the things that we do, please. We all need money, but let's get it in a genuine money, a genuine way. And good neighborliness is very important. One thing we should not forget is that Zambia is a landlocked country. we don't have an access to the costs. So some of the statements we say against our neighbors or in connection with our neighbors can make us become, it makes us difficult to do trade with other people. I yield.
Yeah, I think that was a careless statement. If you ask me, that was a very, very careless statement coming from the leader of the opposition. And of course, I mean, it really baffles me, and sometimes I get surprised to say, like, look, where is your patriotism? Okay, where is your patriotism? What are you doing? I mean, does it mean that if you're an opposition leader, then everything you should be saying should be against the current government? I mean, don't you have, like, some sort of patriotism to your country? I mean, I don't know what he was going to gain, by saying all those things that he said, the post that he made, and saying, there's corruption, and the leader from, the DRC, it gave the executive or certain leaders in the UPND a certain amount of. Why would you do that? I mean, first of all, you have to come in with verified information, and your information has to be backed up with evidence. Now, if you're just saying things just to gain mileage, you end up in what's happening to him now. If you have to ask him, did he really have that information, or does he have fact, evidence to back what he was saying? It's a definite no. So those are the things, as leaders, can we please, as much as we want to be in the position, can we come in front with verified, substantial information when you're telling that, you're addressing some sensitive issues. These are sensitive issues. Because seditions practices is not a small case; it's a big case. So I don't know everybody else what they think, and you know.
Yeah, before everybody comes in, let me bring in somebody that went AWOL or missing. He has come back. He has come back today, and I'm pretty sure Bakazia will be very happy because he always uses him as a cover. Deep thinker, welcome
Oh,
back.
utambula munyama.
Mwamba,
Kabo tu.
Mlishani
Kabotu.
wakazia.
Oh, he just ran off. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
All right. So I guess we're talking about Dr. Nembe, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what we are talking about.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm very disappointed with the opposition. But I don't know if Kazia can help me out. What the laws of Zambia and the constitution it says about the limitations of what opposition can say, can do as it pertains to national security. So I probably need some education on that, what the law is saying.
Subversion.
Yeah, I yield.
Mr. Lukulu, our big man, your thoughts on Dr. Member's arrest for sedition?
Well, Membe has been a rabble rouser for a long time, you know. I, I, and although Apwendi doesn't uh, advocate persecuting opposition leaders, but there comes a time when one has to put the hammer down,
Mm-hmm.
and Membe hasn't been helpful to the political atmosphere in Zambia,
Correct.
and I've seen him in videos in China and advocating this and trashing the country. So So yeah, there comes a time when somebody has to be accountable. I know, and I support it.
Payback time. I remember we told somewhere that it is against the nation's principle, values and principles, to spread lies and falsehoods. It's called subversion. I stand to be corrected. When I come to school, subversion, eh? Are you there? Hello?
You mean Wakazia?
Wakazi, eh? It's called subversion. If you vale to ever. Hello?
I'm here. I don't know if others are still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called subversion. Good neighborly practices demand you to be honest and truthful about everything. Because we're talking about different people, different cultures that live differently. They're just individuals. There's what is called as international diplomacy. Diplomacy is against it doesn't believe in rumors. It believes in honest truth. If you are to sit down and solve an issue, there has to be real facts. But where you have nothing, you don't have any information, you just spread the falsehood. No, it doesn't work like that. It's subversion. In fact, it's sabotage to a country's economy. Where you accuse the heads of state, chite 20 million, filia. No. It's not good. It's not good. Let him have his day in court. Yeah. But for now,
Right.
let him be in prison or in police cells.
Mm-hmm.
Valamutwalira ma mattress. Nabaleka okubatwalira ma mattress abantu abo.
They have
Kwali group.
mattresses. The police have mattresses. They don't need mattresses. I mean,
Oh,
those are just theatrics. The opposition wants sympathy. They'll do anything for sympathy. Haven't you seen that picture of what's that priest? What's his name? Banda? At the police station in Kwacha trying to see Membe right now, sitting on a bench, all trying to again public sympathy. That's what they're doing, and I hope Zambians are seeing through them. My my handsome Dr. Lozzie husband who claimed me today. You have comment on Membe's arrest? What are your thoughts?
It's just a public relations type of. I know for the fact that Membe's family and HH's family are very, very close. So it's just it's going nowhere. They're gonna take him out, and Membe's wife and HH are like brother and sister anyway. So it's nothing important really. They're gonna take him out. I know Membe is a politician trying to talk, but Membe is in a fix right now because his wife is very close to the president of Zambia. There's really nothing that Membe can do to really fight HH so seriously about it. If anything, Membe one day is going to just join UPND and be alliances with that. That's the reason why Membe is not that forceful as an opposition leader in Zambia. It's because it's closer to UPND than he is to the other political parties. So to me, it's a no. We don't have to worry about this type of thing. It's
right.
She was annoyed, and the wife was annoyed. He's incarcerated, but it's not a big deal. It will be sorted. It's a family matter. My mother used to say, when you look at your buttocks, there's always friction between the two.
Matawala mitabuli kujumbana.
Yeah. So it's this is what's happening here. And to be honest, Membe is an opposition leader, but he cannot really he cannot really fight UPND, so to speak. Because if he tries to fight UPND so hard, he'll be hating his own wife. The wife is closer to UPND than he is to any other party in Zambia as of today. That's a fact.
I mean, I just want to say, I think that's a marriage of convenience, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I can let me go there. I think it's a marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to use the wife for political mileage because he knows, the wife's lineage, so to speak. So I don't know. I don't get it.
But the wife will never say anything horrible about UPND.
No, she will never, because she was a member of NMC and she was forced out.
Yeah.
She was forced out of the.
Which was gonna be like a spy.
Yes, exactly. That's why I
But
mean I think
still,
it's a marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and also, I mean, I know we didn't talk about it, but all of a sudden, Antonio Maza is out of the Socialist Party and Mistembo is out. What's going on over there? He's losing people.
Political prostitution.
He's losing people, though.
Political
He's fired.
prostitution.
I've got a question.
fired.
How long have they been married?
I don't know, maybe 10 years at the most. Give
I
or
see they've
take.
got older kids, like some are in university and all that stuff. That's what I
No,
think.
those are his kids from his first or second wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, they may have maybe one or two kids together. But it's not. I think he's being calculated. That's what I think. So anyway, unless if Mr. Lukulu has something to say, shall we move on to the 2000 Kwacha?
Madam Moderator.
Yes, good thinker. Oh my goodness, he's back. Yes.
The conversation last 3-4 minutes has disturbed me in a different way.
Go ahead. Express yourself.
The fact about Membe being, he's going to be out and he's not going to say much because he has ties to the president. I hope the listeners don't take it that there's corrupted tendencies here to not prosecute some because of affiliation to the party. I just wanted to clear that part there. I don't know if I'm clear in my statement.
You are very clear. I mean, I don't think the president operates like that, because here's the reason why I say that, because this is a man whose brother went to jail for stealing his animals. So I really don't think that, I mean, if
But to insinuate that he gonna come out because of ties to UPND and the president, I think some people might read it differently from the way we are perceiving it.
I think the doc is just being sarcastic. But let me
Okay.
He's a lousy man. He's just being sarcastic.
What I'm concerned about are the viewers, because
the viewers. Yes, you're right. But no.
Correct.
Yeah, maybe will have his days in court, because that's a very serious case, because it's involving another country who we are trying to build a business relationship with. So I'm pretty sure the powers that be are taking it seriously, because I mean, when did he write that accusation? That was last month or early this month, and here they are. The police moved in. There must have been a conflict somewhere. You can't just go about run your mouth on social media and hope it's business as usual. So unless if the big man, Mr. Lukulu, you have any other thoughts than what has been shared here?
Yeah. May I ask for permission to leave? I've got other pressing needs.
Oh, as usual.
Meet you next week.
Yeah.
Meet you next week. The other thing,
Mr.
maybe,
and thank you for today.
maybe the other thing is how the 2 hours is going to be allocated. Shall we give it a time frame? Maybe every 15 minutes we change the topic. Matter what, how far we've gone, maybe we allocate time to it, so that by the
Correct.
end of 2 hours, we have exhausted everything. Maybe Shasharama revisions. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
yes,
We'll definitely.
Mr. Chanda Kazia can be a good timekeeper. All right. I leave.
Okay.
I leave. Good night.
All right. Good night, Mr.
Okay,
Lukula.
thanks.
Do you have any
Mm.
thoughts before we move on, Mr. Lukula?
Uh, what did you ask?
I thought. Do you have any other thoughts that you may want to add that we have not touched on this arrest, or if we
No,
need to move
I'm new to this forum, so I just came to check it out.
on?
I may have more to contribute next time.
Oh, lovely, lovely. All
Yeah.
right. Back to the future. Shall we talk about your favorite topic? Because he has run away. But we really need to talk about the finally the miners at KCM getting their 2,500 Kwacha bonuses that were promised to them this last week. After Bakazia said no, it's never going to happen. So it looks like Vendetta are coming through. What has changed?
Yeah. Yeah, Vedanta, of course, like I said, it look, Vedanta, they will operate according to how, we organize ourselves as a government, as a country. And if we place certain laws and certain restrictions, they have to abide by it. And if you remember correctly, if you go back when the same contract was being drawn up, the minister Wakabusu said, we have exclusion clauses in that contract stipulating that if Vedanta does go back on their word on what we have agreed, then it will trigger a full repossession of KCM. So Zambia in itself is safe. So whatever they agreed on, Vedanta has got nothing but to go and abide by those same stipulations. If they go back on their word, they're gonna lose. So that's why they're operating in this manner. Because now, if you look the way they're operating in the other regime, it was chipante pante. We all know how it was. There were no rules. There was nothing that was going on, and there's so much corruption, and that's where we ended up where we were. So after now rectifying that situation and that problem, it's only right that the miners get what they said they will be given. And it's not only 25 100 that they're going to receive, but they're also going to receive an increment on their salaries as well. So it's a plus and it's a bonus, and they're going by what they agreed on. So yes, everybody's happy. Like I said, people will be happy in the copper belt, and it's a good thing. It's a big deal, actually. Very, 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 very big deal because a lot of people were home. They were jobless. And people were not earning an income. And if you don't earn an income, how are you going to support your family? So, yeah, I rest my case.
All right, deep thinker.
It's in governance or any management setting. When things come through, when things that are promised to come through, is always a good thing. Where they get the money, or it doesn't matter to me, as long as you do not promise people and then backtrack and decide not to give them what they were promised, because it lowers the morale of the people. So I'm really happy that they got what they were promised, and most importantly, I think what they deserve. I yield.
Right, right. I mean, for me, really, it's good news. People have been jobless for a long time, and it's high time that these people that are coming to get our minerals actually pay people something for putting their lives at risk, go down there and get the mineral out so they can be rich. It's always a good thing. I guess, unless if Mr. Mulukulu has something to say, let's move on to the next topic so we can quickly end this. We are already over our 2-hour mark. So, Mr. Lukulu, you want to come in and give us some words of wisdom? Finally, Vendetta paying our miners their 2,500 Kwacha bonuses.
To give the oh, you mean the miners?
Yes.
As bonus, right?
Yes.
Well, the miners have always had the short end of the stick, and they are not paid as much as they should be paid. So this to me is a good thing, and whoever put the company's feet to the fire must be congratulated for doing it. But it shouldn't end here. It should continue, and we should review, how much these companies are making,
Mm-hmm.
and in relation to what the miners are making.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be they should pay for the cost of production, and that workforce is the cost of production. So they need to pay a fair share into that cost of production. So I grew up in Rwanda, and my people, everybody I knew their parents worked in the mines,
Mm-hmm.
and and that has continued. It's a tradition in Zambia for miners for people to work in the mines. So they should be paid appropriately. Here in Canada, of course, we know miners make a lot of money. They are compensated well, but we don't value labor very much over there. We enjoy what the labor is doing, but not valuing what's going into it. So that I think we should. And another thing is that mines should benefit the local areas as well. You know, um, these companies should invest in local infrastructure, the local communities. And I think they should, instead of just waiting for the government to do that. They are operating, and especially Kejam, if I can talk about that, which is in my area.
Mm-hmm.
Where when you look at the people around Kejam mines, emeralds, and everybody else is getting rich, but they are not. They are poor people, and yet those are their emeralds. So I'm thinking, there has to be some kind of agreement with these companies to invest in the local, communities. All right, I yield.
All right. Shall we move on now to this? I still find very tough for me. Independent Broadcasting Authority directors Killers, Kuntila Mlayans Killers finally in court this past week. They pled guilty, and the information surrounding this murder just it puts a knife in my heart that fellow Zambians can plan a murder because somebody's appointed to office, and he begins to do his job and realizes there's money that's being siphoned out of the authority, and he's investigating, and then wow, people are not happy, and they plan this horrible murder where, of course, he's kidnapped, and they put a bullet through his head. Gentlemen, this hurts me. I mean, it's just, it's. I never knew that Zambians we could be that evil. We could get to that level because of money. Ah, Let me start with, oh my goodness, somebody I went to school with. She's here today. Fiona. Maluma. Wamba Musa.
Kawoti Musa, kwamba
Finally, someone to join.
Mutaleti ya
yakujoyina
kusekondari anyewo.
You know, guy.
Mutaleti ya kusekondari.
Wabanzi, Vani. Wabanzi. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. All right, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that Valentine, the deep thinker. Anyway, Fiona, we're talking about Guntila's matter. Where are you on that?
I'm in Mazabaka.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. Well, I'm certainly I feel honored that somebody I went to school with joined me on this podcast. The world can be that small, but we're not going to talk about our memories at Kuni Girls, are we? No. I used to be Kenisha's youngest Kuni Girls now. And somebody who was a teacher at Kenisha's Boys is right here. But that's a topic for another day. The topic right now is about Guntila's matters pleading guilty. Your comment, not guilty, I apologize. Your comment on that murder, Fiona.
That's a sad thing, sad development. For sure, as Zambians, how can we hate someone who is so developmental, someone who is so protective, someone who guards the interest of the company? It's really sad.
Yeah, that's right. Right, Lufia. Are you cleaning up there in Canada, right, Lufia? Are you still cleaning up, right, Lufia?
You saw me. I'm trying to do my laundry at the same
I
time.
know, I can see that. I was like, oh, anyway, it's a Sunday. That's what we do. I'm doing my laundry right now. I'm supposed to be cooking. Go
Oh
ahead, right,
God.
your comment.
Yeah. Well, they pleaded what? They pleaded not guilty. I think well, there's no person that has ever committed a crime that went to say, "Oh, I'm guilty." There are very few. So they might just say not guilty, but deep down their hearts they know, they're guilty, and they're trying to justify, or I don't know if it's justifying is the right word, but you know, um, at the end of the day, the prosecute prosecutors should come up with really solid evidence, just to make sure that these guys are behind bars. Because we need to set the precedence in the sense that this shouldn't happen to any government official. I mean, he
Mhm.
lost his life, and of course, his family are missing him. And people should feel protected when they have these sensitive positions. And only people that are full of integrity should actually hold those offices and be able to, you know, do what they're supposed to do, and not feel like they are going to be assassinated because of standing up to the truth. So I don't know exactly the depth of what information he had on his hands for them to kill him. Um, he should have had some really, really, really sensitive information, uh, aside from what we know on the surface. We yet to find out because the matters are still in court. But let the justice system, do its thing, and make sure that the family at least have some closure, and the people that are responsible end up in jail, and
Mhm.
prison for that gruesome murder.
Mm, that's right. I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, I just, it kills me. It kills me, like it kills me that three policemen with his chief of finance muted this idea about killing a fellow Zambian. That kills me. Anyway, deep thinker, you want to come in and talk about? Finally, we have these folk suspected killers in court and pleading guilty on this murder. Your comment?
So I'm not going to dwell much on their guilt plea and the judicial system. I
Hmm.
have a lot of confidence in the judicial system. A lot of people don't, but I do. And the policing of the country. I want to bring up is everybody on this forum, in this forum, is surprised that things like this happen in the country that we love so very much. We need to dig deeper into exposing the root cause of things like this. I'm not saying PF did it, but all I'm saying is at
Okay.
some point, the love of money in our country superseded the love for human life. And I would like to know how we are going to fix this from the root cause standpoint. What causes, what has caused people to disrespect human life for the sake of money, if that's what it was about? And how can we bring back the culture, the Zambian culture of deep understanding that once somebody is dead, there's no coming back. When some people are the breadwinners in their families, and if you take the breadwinner from the family, you have just destabilized generations and generations of people in that family because they depended on that person. So you just don't take out the one person. You take out and you take away the lives of other people that depend on that person. So we need to fix that. I yield.
Mm. You just hit the nail on the head there. Just thinking. Who else is here? Um, Lady Sarah, welcome back, my sis. Oh, you just tuned in today. I think you told me yesterday. You're just gonna listening. Okay, well, whew, that was a tough one. So shall we move on then to the next topic, which is the one I'm very happy about, and that we have talked about over and over, weeks in, week out. It's fine. The U.S. ambassador this week at the conference prodding, urging the Zambian government and the judiciary in the system to send these people who are stealing from government coffers to at least 15 years jail sentence. I think that was, he just made me so happy, and that we've been talking about it here. At least somebody else is listening in. It's not just us. But look here, that pronouncement from the ambassador, our American ambassador in Zambia, urging the us Zambians to at least mete out at least 15 years or jail sentence of these people that are stealing from us. Your comment on that, Bachelor?
I think it's a very good pronouncement because we've seen people like that, just walking away and, and not serving any time, just for the fact that they've maybe forfeited, what they stole,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up, enjoying the rest of their money that they stole. So it's a good thing. I think when
Mm-hmm.
people start serving sentences, people will start shying away, or maybe stop, stealing in a way, or maybe reduce, or whatever. But it's a measure in itself, other than just giving people these agreements that are being given. I mean, I even wonder why, that kind of arrangement would be reached in the first place. I don't know. That's why, we need to really do an overhaul in all the agencies. And like the president, he said it himself. Look, don't just go and arrest somebody. Dig in, do the investigations first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I keep on saying, like, look, we need to look at all these security agencies. One, in terms of training, in terms of who hire and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the modern world, you would find that certain people or certain institutions they hire certain people with specific kind of skills, because the FCC itself in its own will not just operate. It needs certain individuals with certain talent. You find, institutions like here, like the FBI or the CIA, they've actually hired a, some person that can even hack into the system. He's a hacker, but he's employed by the government. And when they say they have this kind of type of people in the institution, these people help them to find information that they would ordinarily not have. So they'll go in somebody's network or somebody's computer and get that information. Or somebody was transferring money from here to Dubai, or somebody was talking at this person. Like for instance, when the JJ Banda escaped, all they would do is just go into his phone. That's it, and they will know who he was communicating with because there's no way he did it alone. He was obviously communicating with somebody. How was he communicating? Through the phone. I'm sure he had the phone. The wife that was there had a phone. They just go into the messages. They go into oh, this person was communicating with this person at this time. At this time, where was he? They pinpoint. They triangulate him, or he's at this area. The police move in and they find him. That's how they find criminals here. So we need to really start looking at advanced technologies and how they're going to be incorporated in our, in our security agencies and wings. It can't just be, business as usual, doing the 1960s type of policing and all that stuff that's outdated. That's why you find people like Yusuf Tahari on the internet laughing. I'm like, really? Can you be, mocking the government? To say Tamwakansa again, he's even mocking the government, you know. So we need to really just Wimbo, please start looking at the training system, modernize it, have modern people, have people with specific skills that can help you, arrest the issues and arrest all these people. Because you can't just have a police just like that, just as a police or FCC or DEC or whatever. You need to have specific people with specific, skills. That's my take on this one.
Deep thinker.
I do deeply welcome the remarks by the ambassador or high commissioner, whatever the title is, and I respect the title as well. Now, I need to go deeper than that.
All right.
That's a little bit deep,
I knew that
a
was
little
coming.
deeper than that.
I knew it was coming.
I need these ambassadors to look deeper into the foreign entities where these ambassadors are coming from and evaluate how much resources they're tapping from the country to take away compared to people that are involved in the corrupt tendencies. Corruption, I don't condone it, I don't entertain it, I condemn it in the deepest sense as it is. But those resources that are being tapped by foreign agencies, foreign companies, or whatever you want to call them, that's why we don't have enough money circulating in the country. As a result, people's pays are not low, are not high. As a result, they get into corruption. They're not afraid to get into corruption tendencies because it pays to be corrupt. 15 years is good enough, but we need to curtail those that are taking the resources and making our country so poor that we cannot even pay our people enough to think about, is it worth going 15 years? No, it's not for the money that they're paying me for the job that I do. We need to look at that, because when you look at countries like DRC with their minerals, they have never seen peace because there is an interest in there. And when the DRC folks, when they don't get good pays, It's because somebody is getting the resources and making themselves rich elsewhere other than on the continent of Africa. So let's look at corruption holistically if we are going to involve other people outside of Zambia. We need to look at it holistically other than just looking at that one who, through corrupted tendencies, just got the $5 million. Dollars. And yet somebody every day is walking out with almost $1 billion. I yield.
Oh,
I was going to
powerful
say more, but
submission.
I yield.
Powerful submissions there. And on that note, that leads. I mean, I mean, for me, like I stated, it's a welcome move, and I agree with everybody that's made their submissions today. I mean, there's no easy way about it. We just have to do it. So, shall we then go on to the rant, which is my favorite rant, and I have a rant to do today. Normally, I don't, but I do. Let's start with you, Deep Thinker. What's your rant for today? Before we close the
First,
show.
before I rant, did Arsenal play? Did I miss something?
Ah, yes, you missed something. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
You know when I have a rant,
My rant,
I did play.
my rant is that if we are not careful with the opposition, they're going to have an upper hand in the ruling in the running of the country, because there is no reason why JJ Banda should have escaped. None whatsoever. I saw some pictures. JJ Banda was wearing a watch. I don't know if you all saw it. He was wearing a watch.
Mhm.
What prisoner was it? Have things changed that much?
They were treating him
I
like
don't know.
a club. They were treating him
So
like a club.
if we are not careful, the opposition is going to run the judiciary. They are going to run all the other departments, because they are becoming even more powerful. Like he said, like somebody said, right, and I think there is no reason why Chilufya Tayali, who escaped the country, should even be talking. That's a mockery. Should even be talking online. That's a mockery. There's no reason why Tayali should be saying these are the two conditions that arrested the Hamasaka and what's his name, Piri,
Living Goma.
arrest them. Those are the Goma. Yes, those are the conditions that Tayali is given, and up to the 5 million. That means he knows where JJ Banda is. And if he knows where JJ Banda is, then we need to hone in all those people that are harboring him. And we need to make it very clear that whoever is involved, the case against that person is exactly the same as JJ Banda. If JJ Banda goes in for murder, you who harbored him go in for murder. Are you?
Right, Sophia. What's your rant for this week?
This week, I don't really have a rant. But I wish Masera would come in and chip in and talk about the escape of JJ Banda. That would be good because the people online are going. They're saying that they know where he is. I mean, he's already outside Africa. And that's what they're saying, especially these opposition affiliates. So they're saying, they are he's overseas already. He's doing fine. He'll come online soon. He'll talk and stuff like that. And like I said, it's a mockery to the government and to the police service and to the intelligence at large. We cannot allow things like this to happen. Really, like we don't have intelligence. Really, we need to have intelligence. Why do we have all these institutions were built? Is to protect the the government and the land, But if simple people like that can simply do things like that, who knows what next? Okay, so we need really to really strengthen our systems. If the systems are failing, make tough decisions, Mr. Jack Wimbo. Make tough decisions. If it's firing people, fire them. People, there's no room for mistakes, and there's no room for regret, and people are not going to say, oh, you fired this person. Just make those big decisions, tough ones. Fire certain people, put in new people, hire more intelligent young people, especially the young people. They're more advanced and they know what's going on. They know more about the internet. Sorry to say this, but than the older folks. So I think you need to start strategizing and start using and utilizing all these people that you're giving free education and hire them. There are certain people that have got specific knowledge. Hire them. Okay, you need to train somebody. Somebody can be traced. It's all they need is just the resources, the money, and you need to computerize your systems. Why do we have cameras? Why do we have satellites? Why do we have all these things? Why can we simply find a simple, small, little man like JJ Banda? You know, it's embarrassing. What about the sophisticated criminals when they come into this country? What's going to happen? Okay, so we need to start thinking really ahead of times. Let's not be stuck in the 60s. Let's move 100 years from now. Start thinking how criminals are thinking. Criminals are now thinking ahead. We also need to think twice as much as they are thinking. Before they make the next move, we already know what they're doing. And before it, you know, they're cornered. And people will stop, mocking the government of the day once that is done. But if this the case, it's going to be the same way it's been. I'm sorry to say this, but you see more of these Chirukatayali, JJ Banda escaping. Kaiza Zulu was just nearby here. We failed even to get him, you know. So really, we need to step up as the government. That's it.
Oh, I was gonna have a rant, but I won't have a rant now. Gentlemen, you've said it all. I think this brings us to end of the show podcast today, and until we meet again with
I'm not leaving until I hear your rant.
no, no. I mean, I was going to say, yeah, we won a trophy as Arsenal. Ah, we beat
I've missed your rant for a few weeks. I need to hear it.
Arsenal, Arsenal. Uh, that's my rant. We had a good win against Beyond today, and we got a trophy out of it. So there you have it in your face. We got our first trophy today before the season
Mm,
starts in 2 weeks. In your
the first
face.
one.
Yes.
The first one.
Yes. Matuve United, you're still rebranding. And on that note,
Uh, uh,
on
don't go there. You said the first. It might be the last.
and on that note, until we meet next week, folks, it's been Banta TV and keep the faith.
The faith.